Have you ever arrived in a country and felt an instant sense of belonging, even though you've never been there before? That's exactly the feeling many Americans describe when they set foot in Malaysia in 2025. The moment they land, something feels different, the air is warm, the smiles are sincere, and there's a unique comfort that makes them feel more like they're coming home than visiting a foreign country. This isn't just about polite customer service or a welcoming hotel lobby. Malaysian hospitality is a living tradition, an unspoken cultural promise that guests will be treated with kindness, dignity, and generosity. It's woven into the daily lives of people, from the bustling heart of Kuala Lumpur to the quiet villages on Borneo's coast. It's in the way a stranger will guide you to your destination without expecting anything in return, the way street food vendors will remember your favorite dish, or the way families will invite you into their homes just to share a meal. In an era where travel can sometimes feel rushed, impersonal, and purely transactional, Malaysia stands out as a place where human connection still matters deeply. Americans often find themselves moved by these small but profound gestures, creating memories that last long after they've returned home. So, what exactly is it about Malaysian hospitality that captures American hearts so deeply? Today, we explore 10 heartfelt reasons that make Malaysians some of the most gracious hosts in the world, and why Americans are falling in love with this warm and welcoming culture. The warmth of genuine smiles. The very first thing most Americans notice when arriving in Malaysia is the abundance of genuine smiles. These aren't the quick, polite grins you often find in service industries elsewhere, they are heartfelt, welcoming smiles that convey a deep sense of sincerity. Whether you're ordering coffee in a roadside stall, asking for directions in a busy market, or simply walking past a group of locals, those smiles greet you like sunshine after rain. For Americans used to the fast-paced efficiency of home, this can be a refreshing and even emotional experience. In Malaysia, a smile isn't just a social formality, it's a gesture of goodwill and respect. It's an invitation to feel at ease, to open up, and to connect. Often, these smiles are the beginning of longer interactions, a friendly conversation, a helping hand, or an unexpected invitation to join in a meal or celebration. Malaysian culture places strong emphasis on harmony and respect, and a smile is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to communicate that. When Americans encounter this daily, they find themselves smiling more, speaking more kindly, and engaging with strangers in a way that feels more human and less hurried. Many travelers leave Malaysia saying that these genuine smiles were the first sign they were truly welcome, and the last thing they remembered when they left. The art of making guests feel at home. Malaysians have a gift for turning complete strangers into friends and making guests feel like family. This is especially true for Americans, who may be used to more transactional hospitality back home. In Malaysia, welcoming someone into your space comes with an unspoken promise: you will be cared for, respected, and treated with generosity. Whether it's being offered tea in a small village home, being shown the best food spots by a taxi driver, or being given a tour of a local neighborhood by someone you've just met, the underlying message is always the same: you are not just a visitor here. You are part of us. Americans often find this deeply touching because it goes beyond politeness, it's about genuine human connection. Even in hotels or restaurants, there's a sense that staff aren't simply doing their jobs, they're looking after you as they would a friend. This creates an emotional bond that makes leaving Malaysia bittersweet, because it's not just about saying goodbye to a place, it's about saying goodbye to people who made you feel at home. Food offered from the heart. In Malaysia, food isn't just sustenance, it's a language of love and care. For Americans, sharing a meal with Malaysians often becomes one of the most memorable parts of their trip. Street vendors may give extra portions without charging, neighbors might send home-cooked dishes to your door, and hosts will insist you try more than you can possibly eat. This generosity is rooted in a cultural belief that feeding guests is an honor, not an obligation. Meals are more than just eating, they are about connection, storytelling, and hospitality. For Americans used to more individual dining styles, the Malaysian way, where food is shared communally and abundance is seen as a sign of warmth, feels like a welcome embrace. The spirit of helping without expecting anything. One thing Americans often remark on is how Malaysians will help strangers without expecting anything in return. Need directions? Someone will walk you there. Looking lost? Someone will stop and guide you. Struggling with your luggage? Help will come before you even ask. In the US, while people are generally helpful, such acts are often limited by time or personal space. In Malaysia, the culture of mutual assistance runs deep, and helping others, especially guests, is seen as a natural duty. This sincerity leaves a lasting impression on American travelers. Respect for diversity. Malaysia is a melting pot of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures, and this diversity shapes a hospitality style that is inclusive and respectful. Americans visiting in 2025 are often amazed at how effortlessly Malaysians respect different religions, customs, and lifestyles, making every guest feel accepted. From accommodating dietary restrictions to observing cultural sensitivities, Malaysians excel at ensuring everyone feels respected. This resonates strongly with Americans, many of whom value inclusivity and open-mindedness in travel experiences. Personal touch in service. In many parts of the world, service can feel standardized and impersonal. In Malaysia, however, there's often a personal touch, remembering your name, your favorite drink, or asking how your day was. For Americans, this attention to detail feels rare and precious. It's this kind of service, rooted in genuine care rather than obligation, that keeps visitors coming back. It's not about being treated like a VIP, it's about being treated like a friend. Invitations into local life. For Americans, one of the most unforgettable experiences is being invited into a Malaysian home or community event. Whether it's a wedding, a festival, or simply a family dinner, these invitations provide an authentic glimpse into everyday life. The willingness to share personal moments with strangers speaks volumes about Malaysian openness. It's an experience that turns a trip into a personal connection, and for many Americans, it's the highlight of their journey. The calm and patient approach. Malaysian hospitality is rarely rushed. Conversations aren't hurried, service isn't pressured, and interactions take the time they need. For Americans, who often live in a fast-paced world, this slower, more patient approach is both surprising and refreshing. It allows for deeper connections and more meaningful interactions, something travelers find themselves longing for once they return home. Hospitality across all walks of life. What strikes many Americans is that Malaysian hospitality isn't limited to hotels or tourist spots, it's found everywhere. From farmers in rural areas to business owners in cities, kindness and respect are constants. This consistency makes visitors feel welcome no matter where they go, reinforcing the idea that hospitality is a national value, not just a service industry standard. Farewells filled with warmth. When it's time to leave, Malaysians don't just say goodbye, they send you off with warmth, blessings, and often a little something to remember them by. For Americans, this heartfelt farewell is the perfect reflection of everything they've experienced: genuine care, deep respect, and a connection that goes beyond tourism. In 2025, Malaysian hospitality stands as one of the most beautiful expressions of human connection in the world. For Americans, it's not just about staying in a place, it's about being part of a culture that values kindness, generosity, and respect above all else. The warmth of a smile, the generosity of shared food, the patience in conversations, and the sincerity of farewells, all of these weave together to create an experience that leaves a permanent mark on the heart. Travel often teaches us that the most valuable souvenirs are not things we can buy, but moments we carry within us. For Americans visiting Malaysia, those moments are filled with laughter over shared meals, quiet talks with strangers who became friends, and the unshakable feeling of being truly welcomed. And perhaps that's why so many return, because in Malaysia, you're not just a tourist. You're a guest. You're a friend. And for a little while, you're part of a family that spans oceans.